Well, on this Tuesday morning, it is a little bit cold, and I hate that we're saying that in June, but it is what it is. We're making the most of it.
We are.
Channy and I have been channeling our fall vibes. So
we have been.
Yesterday, she wore a sweater.
Today, we're wearing like this plum maroon kind of color.
Yeah, our floor director, he has a blanket. We call him Grandma Dylan.
It's a vibe. It really
it's
is.
A vibe.
We're making the best of it, Cody.
And Cody's wearing long sleeves too.
Yes. I mean, it was absolutely necessary this morning. I came in with my puffy jacket yesterday. I am a proud Pacific Northwest girl from Eastern Washington. I can handle the rain and anything. Yesterday was about the first time I truly wished to have a proper raincoat like the kind that sailors have, because it just came down yesterday. Today, a little less widespread for the rainfall, but we are seeing some issues this morning with some watches and warnings. We do have flood advisories in effect until 4 o'clock for this area in the green. We also have flood warnings for the Palouse River near Potlatch and the Pend Oreille River below Albany Falls. I'm also seeing one right now from the National Weather Service for the St. Joe River at St. Mary's. So keeping a close eye on that. Not the only thing, a winter weather advisory currently in effect right now for the panhandle of Idaho until about 11 a.m. For the Kootenai Cabinet region, that's more until about noon for today. We are looking to see snow above 4,000 feet as well as breezy to gusty winds. Not great news for those that were hoping to recreate up in those higher elevations for hiking or camping. So here's where we're at currently right now with current conditions. Seeing a lot of that rainfall around Colville near Coeur d'Alene. Others seeing that snow or that winter weather up in the higher elevations in Idaho. We're currently at 42 degrees right now for Spokane at the airport this morning. But good news, we're looking to warm up as the week continues.
A 911 call led to the arrest of 31 suspected members of a national hate group packed into the back of a U-Haul over the weekend in Coeur d'Alene. Police suspect the group was going to riot at the North Idaho Alliance Pride event. Now this morning, we do have an update from police on their investigation into what those men were planning to do.
That's right. New cell phone video obtained by KREM 2 News shows heavily armed officers opening up the back of that U-Haul on Northwest Boulevard in Coeur d'Alene. Inside, they found 31 men, all dressed in khaki pants, blue shirts, with white fabric covering their faces. The men are members of the nationally recognized hate group called Patriot Front. Coeur d'Alene Police Chief Lee White says a concerned citizen saw them loading up into a van in a hotel parking lot and called 911. Inside the van, police found what appeared to be a homemade riot shield, other protective equipment, at least one smoke grenade, as well as a document detailing their plans to cause a riot in downtown. And newly filed Kootenai County Court documents detail just how much planning and coordination went into the group's attempt at disturbing the peace in Coeur d'Alene over the weekend.
So the documents show that police seized 3 vehicles, the U-Haul, a Ford Ranger, and a red Camry, all as evidence. Court documents also say the founder of the group told officers that he traveled to Coeur d'Alene to peacefully exercise his First Amendment rights. Another suspect told police that he traveled a long way for the cause and says, quote, "We go where we are needed." Now, Coeur d'Alene police found several typed documents on the leader of the group, Thomas Rousseau. One document discussed the group being there to, quote, "raise a voice against the moral depravity which permits events such as this to take place," end quote, which is referencing the Pride event happening that day. Another document outlined call locations and checkpoints. Documents also say that it listed GPS coordinates for a drop point with 2 backup plans and references using smoke and outlines an exit strategy as well.
Police also confirmed none of the suspects had any illegal drugs or other illegal items on them. But what they did find among the 31 suspects include tactical medical kits, radios, and cameras. In fact, one of the suspects had what appeared to be a single smoke bomb or grenade. None of the suspects appeared in court yesterday. We've learned it is their responsibility to schedule a court date. They have until June 30th to do so. So far, several have scheduled their court appearance on July 18th, including the Spokane suspect. Since the arrest, we continue to uncover new details about the suspects.
So new since yesterday morning, the Coeur d'Alene mayor and police chief held a press conference for the first time since these arrests happened. And KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez has been covering this event since it took place over the weekend, and she's live in Coeur d'Alene now. So Nicole, you were at that press conference yesterday. What did the mayor and police chief have to say?
So both the mayor and the Coeur d'Alene police chief were stressing to the community that Coeur d'Alene is still a safe place to be and go to events at. And so the police chief was also very transparent about where they're at in their process right now, explaining that they still have a lot of body camera footage to link together as well as documents to write up. So they say that the investigation will be a long process. This just days after officers arrested those 31 men connected to that white nationalist hate group. That included the group's leader and one man from Spokane. The mayor says he does not want this to deter anyone from going to future events here in Coeur d'Alene.
We're not going back to the days of the Aryan nations. We emphasize that Coeur d'Alene is a safe city, and that isn't just the mayor saying that. I can document that with all the evidence that's provided by our police department in terms of the statistics and the reports of every activity that they're involved in, and we are still a very safe city.
Each man was booked for conspiracy to riot, a misdemeanor here in Idaho. All 31 men have since bonded out of jail. Since the arrests, Police Chief White says the department has received 149 phone calls. He says they're split 50-50, with some thanking police and others angry about the arrests. And Governor Brad Little will be in North Idaho today. He's here for something separate. He is here for fire prevention, but we are going to ask him about the events that happened this weekend while he's here. In Coeur d'Alene, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Now we know this is a lot of information, so if you would like a link to our complete coverage of the Coeur d'Alene arrest, text the word arrest to 509-448-2000. We'll send you a link right to your phone with all of that information.
The January 6th committee was back for round 2 of hearings yesterday.
Now the focus was on former President Donald Trump's claims of voter fraud to overturn the 2020 election. Now the committee illustrated that despite advisors telling Trump that there was no widespread fraud, he continued to push the false narrative. In a recorded interview, former Attorney General William Barr recalled the president showing him a report alleging voting machines were rigged.
I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality.
Now, the panel also provided new information saying the former president's campaign raised $250 million by claiming they were fighting widespread election fraud. However, the money went to the former president's Save America PAC, which gave $5 million to the company that helped organize the January 6th White House Ellipse rally that preceded the attack. The next hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning.
It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time. Happening today, Governor Brad Little will be in Coeur d'Alene to meet with the Department of Lands. The meeting will focus on fire preparedness. Little will talk about Idaho investments to help state fire response and introduce a new wildfire alert system. The meeting is at 10:30 this morning. An update on a story we first brought you here on Up with KREM. The Spokane City Council voted in favor of a proposal to bring a pride crosswalk to the city. The motion passed 5-2. The project would cost up to $300,000 to implement. That money will be used over the course of 3 years as part of a community crosswalks pilot program. People can vote on the proposed intersections in areas like Monroe Street and downtown. Former Idaho Representative Aaron Von Ellinger is back in court. He wants to either get acquitted or get a new trial. In April, a jury convicted him of raping a State House intern. Von Ellinger wants the state to pay for the jury transcript of his trial, which he needs to file the motion for acquittal. However, the judge says he needs a list of Von Ellinger's assets. As of right now, Von Ellinger is still scheduled for sentencing on July 28th. He faces up to life in prison. Several members of a family-run drug trafficking ring are now facing felony charges. They are accused of bringing more than 100 pounds of meth into the state. The charges involve drug deals in Lewis, Pierce, and Thurston counties. Investigators believe they've been tracking them since at least 2012, with some of the suspects using fake identities. If convicted, they face a minimum of 10 years in prison. And Washington State now leads the nation in catalytic converter thefts. A report shows a 10,000% jump in converter thefts since 2019. The state legislature passed a bill to crack down on those types of thefts this year. The bipartisan bill places new requirements on scrapyards and auto wreckers who purchase used catalytic converters for recycling. And that's a look at your morning rush.
10 minutes now past the hour now to get you started for your Tuesday. We're still looking at another chance for some showers for today. Not quite as long or as widespread as yesterday, but still going to be on the cool side of things. When we could dry out is coming up.
All right, time for your wake-up call. If you were up early this morning, you may have seen the strawberry moon. Take a look. This is video captured from our photographer, Al Lozano. You could see that it is just very vibrant early in the morning. Hey, if you took a photo of it, we'd love to see it. You can text it to us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag #UpWithCrem on social media.
Well, taking a live look outside on, wow, a very foggy looking view of Silver Mountain on this Tuesday morning. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest, and happy Tuesday. Stay warm this morning. Maybe grab another cup of coffee or a cup of tea and join us for more Up with Crem.